Welcome back to the Flipped Classroom. For tonight's homework, we're going to be working on revising and editing, and we'll have revising and editing homework for the rest of the week as well. So the strategies that we use on homework tonight are strategies that you're going to be using the rest of the week as well, and we do expect to see them on your assignments when you come to class each day. So first thing you want to do is always start off by reading the directions and what's written above the picture before the passage even begins. So your directions say, read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Anna Joy wrote about participating in a livestock show. Read Anna Joy's paper and think about how it should be revised. So with revised, we're thinking about sentences, if we should add words, remove sentences, change things, make substitutions with things just to improve the quality of the writing. It says, then answer the questions that follow. So looking at the picture, we can tell a little bit more about what the passage is going to be about, and the title of our passage is called It's Showtime. So your job is to be reading through with me, and as we're reading, we're going to be looking for any corrections that need to be made as we're going through the passage. I remember lying awake, anticipating the big day. It was my first time to have a pig on display at the Cook County Livestock Show. Months earlier, my dad helped me select a pig for my 4-H project. We purchased 4 pigs. After watching them grow for several months, I chose Taffy as my official show pig. She had a beautiful coat and was gaining weight more quickly than the other pigs. For the next 6 months, I awakened early to feed Taffy. I kept her pen dry and made sure she had fresh water to drink at all times. I rinsed Taffy daily with water and bathed her with a mild soap 3 times each week. Twice each day, I walked Taffy in circles around our pen, preparing her for the walking routine of the show. My dad gave me tips on showmanship. He recommended that I always make eye contact with the judge and that I never show frustration with my pig. I thought about this advice until the morning sun peeked through my window on the day of the show. Dressed in my best jeans and favorite colored shirt, I waited by Taffy's pen in the livestock barn. So I'm going to put a star next to this sentence just because to me it sounds like it's not a complete sentence. It tells me who the subject is, it tells me what that subject was wearing, but it doesn't necessarily tell me what it is that subject did. So again, anything that I write down, you want to be sure to write that down as well. I waited by Taffy's pen in the livestock barn. I never realized how many pigs and people would be at this 4-H show. I stood in the hot, crowded ring near Taffy for almost an hour. I held tightly to a brush. It would sweep dirt from my pig when the judge was not looking. Taffy's weight group was called to the show ring. Keeping my 248-pound pig between the judge and me, I confidently paraded Taffy. I was proud as I noticed how smoothly she moved her wide and muscular body. I watched as the judge examined my pig from head to hooves. When the Cook County Livestock Show was completed, I scratched Taffy's belly and whispered to her, "Well, Taffy, I guess our long-awaited day turned out because of our work and preparation." They started off with quotation marks here, but I didn't see them end with quotation marks in, so I'm going to add them in and say that that's a correction that needs to be made. It takes a very special pig to win a blue ribbon in her first show. And actually, I noticed that she wasn't finished talking there, so that's a set of quotation marks that I'm going to take off. But again, reading closely, that would have been a correction I needed to make if I didn't see those quotation marks there at the end of the passage. So we're going to look at the questions together. If you'll turn them over, please. I'm only going to do numbers 1 and 2 with you, and then your job is to use the same strategies as you go through and complete the rest of the passage on your own. So number 1 says, look at sentence 8. So I want to be sure to look at sentence 8. The phrase, made sure, does not express what Anna Joy was trying to say. Which word or phrase could best replace made sure and help Anna Joy improve the meaning of this sentence? So I'm going to go back to sentence 8 in the passage and highlight that sentence. Sentence 8 says, I kept her pen dry and made sure she had fresh water to drink at all times. So again, highlighting sentence 8 just helps me to focus a little bit more on what that sentence is saying. And I'm going to go back and look at the answer choices. They're saying that instead of made sure, plug in the word pretended. So I'm going to see if that makes sense. I kept her pen dry and pretended sure she had fresh water to drink at all times. That does not make sense. So that is not a choice that I want to include in revising that sentence. B, was certain. I kept her pen dry and was certain she had fresh water to drink at all times. That doesn't sound bad, but I want to look at my other choices first. Promised. I kept her pen dry and promised she had fresh water to drink at all times. Again, I don't really feel like that correction makes sense. I'm going to look at thought. I kept her pen dry and made sure I kept her pen dry and thought she had fresh water to drink at all times. Here they're trying to tell me that she was here they were trying to tell me that she was absolutely positive that she had fresh water to drink. So plugging in thought does not make sense either. So the best answer choice for me to plug in there is B. And again, my strategy here was to take that word and literally plug it into the sentence to see if it made sense in sentence 8. And that helped me to determine if it made sense or not. Okay, let's look at number 2 together. Anna Joy would like to add the following sentence to the second paragraph. And it tells me where the second paragraph is. Here's the sentence she wants to add. Daily brushings were a must to help my pig's hair remain soft and shiny. Where is the best place to insert that sentence? So I'm going to go back to that paragraph. And again, it's 7 through 13. So for the next 6 months, I awakened early to feed Taffy. I kept her pen dry and made sure she had fresh water to drink at all times. I rinsed Taffy daily with water and bathed her with a mild soap 3 times each week. Twice each day, I walked Taffy in circles around our pen, preparing her for the walking routine of the show. My dad gave me tips on showmanship. He recommended that I always make eye contact with the judge and that I never show frustration with my pig. I thought about this advice until the morning sun peeked through my window the day of the show. So the sentence says, daily brushings were a must to help my pig's hair remain soft and shiny. So here they're talking about washing her and bathing her to make sure that she's clean. So somewhere in this area looks like a good place to add in that sentence. They're suggesting I put it after sentence 7. Sentence 7 saying, for the next 6 months I awakened early to feed Taffy. Feeding Taffy doesn't sound like it has anything to do with making sure that her coat is nice and shiny, so I'm going to say that that doesn't make sense. They're saying between 9 and 10. I rinsed Taffy daily with water and bathed her with a mild soap 3 times each week. Then I could say daily brushings were a must to help my pig's hair remain soft and shiny. And then the paragraph could continue. Twice each day I walked Taffy in circles around our pen. So far to me that's looking like a good choice, but I'm going to check my other options. They're saying to plug that in before sentence 12. Well, sentence 11 is saying my dad gave me tips on showmanship, and then they want me to plug in about brushing her coat, her hair, which to me does not make sense. And the last one, this sentence should not be added to the paragraph. I kept her pen dry. I rinsed daily. Each day she walked her. I think this is all part of making her pig look nice and neat for the day of the show. So I would say that this sentence is needed, and I'm going to go with answer choice G. So just a reminder, DNMS stands for does not make sense. And then another choice is not true or not correct. And those are also ways that you can prove whether or not your answer choices are correct or why they don't make sense. So as you continue reading through the passage, make sure that you underline important information, highlight those sentences, and then decide where those changes are going to be made. And be sure to make corrections to, or tell me why you think those answer choices are not correct. So be sure to come in with all of this copied down, be ready to go to share your answers, and have fun, because you've been